everybody, and welcome to Hybrid Now. Thought I'd give you some views of driving the Toyota Prius, the Toyota Prius experience, because I have to say, at least for me, there's been nothing else like it. It is freaking awesome. In the beginning there, we went out, we unlocked it, you got to hear the unlock noise, what the car sounds like when it's moving either in reverse or below 20 miles an hour. I don't know if you know, but it emits a sound. And it does that because at those speeds, whether it's reverse or forward, it emits a sound so that people around the car can hear it. Otherwise, it's running solely on battery and you can't hear anything running. So it's a safety thing for Toyota. They hope, I guess, that people at least know what that sound is or that they look up, which is kind of strange because it's not an engine sound. You guys can hear it, and if you didn't catch it, go back and watch the beginning of the video. You can hear that sound that it emits, and it's like it's almost like a running hum or something. It's very unique, but I think it's different enough that it will draw people's attention, because you don't hear things like that out in the normal world, out in the live, if you will. Driving it, you know, it's nice and smooth. The only knock, and I've mentioned it before, if it bothers you, is road noise. You guys can hear it right now. I'm sure in every driving type video that I've made, you could hear the road noise in the car. I don't think it's that bad. It doesn't even usually register with me when I'm out driving around, typically because I would have the radio on. I mean, normally I'm not driving around talking into a camera, you know, so it's something that doesn't bother me at all. The comfort, the smoothness, you guys can get an idea of that by, I guess, watching how much I bounce around in the car as we go over the roads. The roads down here are fairly rough, so if there was going to be any issue with ride quality or anything like that, you would see it, and you certainly would hear it in my voice. You know, if you're out bouncing around while you're trying to talk, you're going to get, you know, you're going to hear it in the person's voice. And you notice you don't hear any of that while I'm out driving around. Space-wise, we've talked about this before too. Plenty of room in here. I just kind of wanted to give you the experience of what it's like to drive the Prius. Now, what I'm curious to know is how many folks out there either have the Prius, the redesign, 2023 and above, because you can get a 2024 now. I don't know if Toyota has delivered any 2024s yet, but they have switched over. And if you've got one on order and you've not received it yet, I would bet you're going to get a 2024, and hopefully you don't get hit with that price increase. It's not a lot of money, but I think it's like $300 or something like that more that Toyota's charging for the Prius, which is kind of crazy to me because the car really, from a delivery standpoint, has only been out for about, what, 10 months, 11 months, something like that. So not even a full year, and Toyota is raising the price, or taking the opportunity to raise the price because of a model year switch. But anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you've got the Toyota Prius. What do you think of the drive quality of it? Or if you've got one that's coming, and I'm particularly interested to know what the lead times are these days. Are we still looking at a year, 6 months? I've heard of people waiting 2 years to get this new Toyota Prius. I don't really understand why, unless they've spec'd out a car specifically the way they want it, with only the options that they want for as much as you can. And they're being very particular, because when I bought this one, I had to wait, when I finally found the one I wanted, I had to wait about 3 or 4 weeks, something like that, to actually get the car. So folks that are talking about 6 months or a year, I just can't imagine right now, but who knows? Maybe you live in an area that doesn't get a lot of Priuses in, and the market's really small, and that's why you have to wait. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind that would be. The other thing I'd like to know is, are you able to get the Prime? Is the Prime becoming more prevalent, more available? I know when I was looking, you couldn't get the Prime. I mean, they showed up out there, but actually putting your hands on one you'd be very lucky if you were actually able to do that. So I'm curious if anybody's actually got one recently. They kind of come in spurts, I think. I think Toyota builds the different models in schedules, if you will. They schedule for everything but the Prime, and then they build them, and then they switch over, and then they build the Prime, and so on and so forth. I know they do that with manual transmissions when it comes to the Toyota Tacoma. At least they did. When I bought my manual, I was told that they produce them, and then there's like a 2 or 3 month period where they're not producing them, and then they kick in again, build what they have to, I guess, and then switch off, which makes sense to me. I guess they do that because the manuals are in less demand, so they're not going to spend all their time building manuals. They're going to build them when they've got orders or a need or supply demand for them, and then they're going to switch over to what most people want, and that is the automatic. Of course, that does not apply when it comes to the Toyota Prius, because you can't get it in a manual. But wouldn't that be something? If you could get this setup, I guess it would have to be without the electric component though, but if you could get it in a manual transmission, that would be kind of cool, but I suppose it would defeat the purpose, fuel economy and all of that. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of share a little bit of the Toyota Prius experience. Hopefully that kind of satisfies anybody who's waiting to get one for a little bit anyway, and getting to experience it before theirs actually comes in. And I know the wait can be excruciating. I've done it before myself. I've sworn never to do it again as far as building one or ordering one, because I just am too impatient. That manual transmission Tacoma I mentioned took me 6 months almost to get that truck. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.